Hello students, welcome once again in the video lecture series for class 12th. Today we are in the last part of the market perfect competition. Our first topic to consider today is supply curve of the firm in a perfectly competitive market. The supply curve of a firm shows the level of output that the firm chooses to produce corresponding to different values of the market price. We are presenting a graph here in which level of output is taken on x-axis and the corresponding prices are taken on y-axis. The firm will produce and supply an output at the point at which the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost, as this is one of the essential conditions for profit maximization. And at the same time, the firm will produce only if price covers at least average variable cost, as it is equally important condition. One interesting thing about the marginal cost curve of a firm in perfectly competitive market is that it shows the firm's supply curve. The derivation of the supply curve is explained with the help of this figure. Now explain this curve. Suppose the market price of the commodity is rupees 2. Corresponding to it, we have demand curve or average revenue curve as D1 for the firm. At this price, the firm supplies OQ1 units because here marginal revenue is equals to marginal cost. If the price is rupees 3 and the corresponding demand curve is D2, then at this point quantity supplied is Q2. Similarly, we have demand curve D3 and D4 and corresponding supplies are Q3 and Q4. The marginal cost curve, which gives us the quantities of supply, is nothing but firm's supply curve that gives various quantities the firm will supply at each price. For prices below average variable cost, the firm will not be interested in supply of even a single unit because it will increase its loss, as the firm is unable to cover up even its variable cost. For prices above average variable cost, the firm will equate price and marginal cost. When price is higher than average variable cost, firm will decide to continue its production as it is beneficial for it to produce. Thus, in perfect competition market, the firm's marginal cost curve above the average variable cost curve has identical shape of the firm's supply curve. Now, the concept of break-even point. This is that point where total revenue and total cost are equal. It is the point of zero profit or it is the point of no profit, no loss. A firm uses different kinds of inputs in the production process. To acquire some of them, the firm has to pay directly as wages to labor. There may be some kinds of inputs which the firm owns and therefore does not need to pay to anybody for them. These inputs do not have any explicit cost, but they involve some opportunity cost to the firm. The firm, instead of using these owned inputs, may get some return on them. This foregone return of factors of production is the opportunity cost to the firm. The profit level that just cover the explicit cost and opportunity cost of the firm is called the normal profit. Profit that a firm earns over and above the normal profit is called the supernormal profit. Our next heading to discuss is determinants of a firm's supply curve. We have seen that a firm's supply curve is a part of its marginal cost curve. Thus, any factor that affect a firm's marginal cost curve is determinant of a firm's supply curve. There are three such types of factors. First among them is technology. Technology plays an important role in production and cost. There may be two types of technology, advanced or backward. Due to use of advanced technology, either output increases with the use of the same quantity of inputs or less quantity of inputs is required for producing the same level of output. In both the cases, marginal cost of the firm for any level of output decreases. That is, there will be a rightward or downward shift of the marginal cost curve. As the firm's supply curve is the part of marginal cost curve, technological progress shifts the supply curve of the firm to the right. Second factor affecting firm's supply curve is input prices or cost of production. A change in inputs prices directly affect the firm's supply curve. If the price of an input rises as the wages of labor or the prices of raw material, the cost of production will also rise. The consequent increase in the firm's average cost at any level of output usually increases the marginal cost of the firm. That is, there is a leftward or upward shift of the marginal cost curve. This means that the supply curve of the firm will shift to the left, showing that the firm now supplies fewer units of output. Third factor affecting firm's supply curve is government's policy, whether to grant subsidy or imposing tax. Government may impose per unit tax on the commodity. If it does so, the firm's marginal cost will rise. Its marginal cost will shift to upward, showing lesser supply of units of output. On the other hand, if government grants per unit subsidy, it will lower the marginal cost, causing its downward shifting, showing that the firm will supply now more number of units. Concept of market supply curve. The market supply curve shows the output levels that the firms in the market produce in aggregate corresponding to different values of the market price. Let us draw a market supply curve using the table. We have a table. First column is for the price, second column is the supply of firm A, third column is the supply of firm B, fourth column is the supply of firm C, fifth column is the supply of firm D, and the last column is for total market supply. Means at rupee 1, firm A is willing to supply 10 units, firm B is willing to supply 2 units, firm C is willing to supply 20 units, firm D is willing to supply 1 units, or we can say that at rupee 1, total market supply is 33 units. In the same way, we can see that as the prices are increasing, total market supply is also increasing. Now, if we draw a curve using the price and total market supply, what we get is market supply curve. It can be seen that it is upward sloping. It is from left to right. It should be noted that the market supply curve has been derived for a fixed number of firms in the market. As the number of firms changes, the market supply curve shifts as well. If the number of firms will decrease, market supply curve will shift to left hand side. And if the number of firms in the market increase, supply curve will shift to the right hand side. Means we can say that number of firms affect the market of supply curve. Now, price elasticity of supply. Elastic means change. Elasticity of supply means change in supply. Change in supply may be due to many factors like the price of the commodity, price of related goods, government policy, cost of production, technology, weather conditions, transportation, infrastructure, etc. But elasticity of supply measures the change in quantity supplied only due to its own price only. Therefore, it is also named as price elasticity of supply. It can be defined as degree of responsiveness of supply for a commodity to a change in its own price. It is the ratio of percentage change in quantity supplied to the percentage change in price. We use ES to denote the coefficient of the elasticity of supply. Symbolically, it can be written as ES means elasticity of supply equals to percentage change in quantity supplied upon percentage change in price. If we derive a formula from this, it will be as follows. Elasticity of supply equals to delta Q upon delta P into P0 upon Q0, where P0 stands for original price or old price and Q0 stands for original quantity or old quantity. Delta Q means the difference between the new quantity and old quantity, and delta P means the difference between the new price and the old price. Since as price increases, the quantity supplied also increases and vice versa. I mean to say, since there is a direct and positive relationship between quantity demanded and price, value of elasticity of supply has a positive sign. Depending upon the degree of responsiveness of the quantity supplied to the price changes, economists distinguish between 5 kinds of price elasticity of supply. Means our next topic is kinds of price elasticity of supply. First is unitary elastic supply. Unit means 1. It means that proportional change in price is equal to the proportionate change in quantity supplied. In such a case, value of price elasticity of supply is 1, as its name suggests, unitary elastic supply. Let us take an example. If at a price of rupees 10, quantity supplied is 5 units, and if there is a change in price by rupees 2, then the quantity supplied increases from 5 units to 6 units. It is clear that at a price increase of 20% from rupees 10 to 12, the change in quantity supplied is also 20%, that is from 5 units to 6 units. Here, elasticity of supply is equals to 1. If we draw a supply curve, it will extend to the origin. Second is perfectly inelastic supply. Its value is 0. It is possible when in the formula percentage change in quantity supplied upon percentage change in price, the change in numerator is 0. I mean to say that when in spite of change in price, quantity supplied still remains unchanged, it is said that elasticity of supply, that is change of supply, is 0. Its supply curve is a straight line perpendicular to the x-axis and parallel to the y-axis. This happens in the case of perishable goods. For example, a fisherman is not affected by increase or decrease in price of the fishes, as he has to sell his entire catch on the very day he catches. If he waits for increase in price of fishes, the fishes will perish or spoil, and he could get nothing. So, he must sell his entire catch whatever price he is offered. Third elasticity is perfectly elastic supply. Its value is infinite. It is possible when in the above mentioned formula the denominator is 0. I mean to say that when no change in price or a nominal change in price leads to infinite change in quantity supplied, it is said that elasticity of supply is perfectly elastic. The perfectly elastic supply curve is a horizontal straight line parallel to the x-axis showing quantity supplied at the height of the price. Fourth elasticity is relatively elastic supply. When a proportionate change in quantity supplied is more than proportionate change in price, it is said that elasticity of supply is relatively more elastic or elastic. Its value is greater than 1. In such a case, supply curve crosses the y-axis. Now, relatively inelastic supply. This is the fifth type of elasticity. When a proportionate change in quantity supplied is less than the percentage change in price, it is said that elasticity of supply curve is relatively inelastic. Its value is less than 1. The supply curve in this case crosses the x-axis. Can you believe that value of elasticity of supply may be negative even? Its example is supply of hours of labor. As wages means price of labor increase, labor intends to supply less hours of labor as now he wants to spend some time on his rest and leisure without compromising his earning. If we draw the supply curve by taking hours of labor on x-axis and his wage rate at y-axis, we will find that the supply curve is instead of rising is downward sloping, showing negative relationship between the two axes. Students, our last topic is methods of calculating elasticity of supply. There are three methods of calculating elasticity of supply. The first method is percentage method. The formula is percentage change in quantity supplied upon percentage change in price, and the derivation is delta Q upon delta P into P0 upon Q0. Second method is arc method. The formula is slightly changed. In the above mentioned derivation formula, instead of P0 and Q0 on the right hand side, it will be average of P0 and P1. In the same way, average of Q0 and Q1. P1 and Q1 denotes for new price and new quantity. Third method is geometric method. Formula here is elasticity of supply equals to differentiation of quantity upon differentiation of price into price upon quantity. So students, perfect competition completes here. Let's revise what we have done today. We proved that in perfect competition market, firm's marginal cost curve is its supply curve above the average variable cost curve. Then the concept of elasticity of supply, its various values and nomenclature. Lastly, we learned three methods to calculate elasticity of supply. In our next lecture, we will be here with a new chapter and much more concepts. Till then, thanks.